What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? Yeah, we're doing fitty stuff today. This is my gun. There are none like it because this one is a work in progress. We kind of started realizing that we've gained so many subscribers in the last year. Like, a lot of you guys are so new that you kind of only know the AK-50 from the meme. You didn't actually know at one point this was a functional firing weapon. This right here is our old V1 AK-50 prototype. This right here was the first one that ever fired, ever cycled. This really was, this is my baby. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been asking for an AK-50 update, and we do actually have a little bit of one of those later on in the video. Stick around to the end if you want to see that. But I figured it's been so long, you guys deserve a little bit more than just an update. So we're gonna spend the first good bit of this video just wrecking shit with the AK-50. So let's just get started. So here we're gonna take our 50 BMG Freedom Seed and take out this very, now that I look at it, phallic arrangement of Pepsi product. So, yeehaw NASCAR. Now, of course, as you can probably see, we've long since removed gas piston, gas system, everything like that for use on other prototypes, but this is still a pretty solid flex of a single shot straight pull bolt gun. And she is loaded and ready to go. All right, let's try to line this up with using our gas block as a sight. 3, 2, 1. God damn, I missed this gun. So, our Pepsi is gone. I think I nicked the barrel a little bit on the way down and out of all those Pepsi cans, but yeah, if you look in the top here, on top of, you know, just a nice little ring of cola, we also have shards of Pepsi can that have just been completely eviscerated. Cool stuff. But let's try shooting something else.
But first, this AK-50 video is brought to you by Manscaped. That's right, this Christmas it's time for you to get a package for your package. A present for your pecker. A blessing for your, okay, I'll stop. If you want Christmas to come earlier than you on December 1st, get yourself the Performance Package for Manscaped. It has cool stuff like the Lawnmower 3.0, which has cool skin-safe technology to make sure you don't nick something you didn't mean to and then spend Christmas Eve in the ER. Again. Of course, they've got other great stuff like ball deodorant, which a special lady in your life will thank you for. You know, whenever you guys get one of those. There's also the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer, so your nose hair doesn't do that weird thing that your uncle did at Thanksgiving where like his nose hair blends into his mustache and like you're not sure where one ends and the other begins and it's just super weird. Anyhow, you can get all this and more if you go down and use the link in the description and in the pinned comment. So big thank you again to Manscaped for making this video possible. Go ahead and check them out. Your balls will thank you. Back to the 50.
So I saw a lot of you guys are leaving comments about how I'm gaining a little bit of weight now. Want to let you know it is intentional, doing a little bit of a winter bulk. Want to get back to buff Brandon. But I really do kind of have to clean up my diet because I am packing on a couple extra pounds. So that means I had to take a big bag of McDonald's cheeseburgers out of my fridge. You know, this stuff will kill you. And I'm going to kill it. 50 BMG. Operation Trim the Fat in 3, 2. Whoa! You want fries with that, motherfucker? So, this is disgusting. You can see where you got some small holes here, just barely skimmed them. Keeps expanding, bigger, bigger. You know, as you just depositing more energy into this, whatever, I hate to call it food. Oh yeah, and just till you get to the grand prize winners toward the end, and whatever is in our bag is completely shredded and all over our berm here, completely just ripped to pieces. It actually ripped it out of the packaging and just kind of deposited it all over the berm. We're gonna have some obese raccoons out here now. So up next, we're gonna do what I do every Friday night and smash some nice melons. Fruit Ninja in 3, 2. My fruit killing skills are remarkable. You couldn't really see it, but it just rained shit everywhere. So our first cantaloupe here, that is the entry hole, and it had expanded so much, you know, of course it split the cantaloupe, expanded so much that we don't really know where the other two are. I'm dead serious, they just kind of evaporated. We've returned them to nature. They're with God now. So there's an age-old joke about the 50 BMG, that it's perfect for home intruders. In your neighbor's house, hiding behind a fridge. Today we're gonna put that to the test. We've got our little mini fridge here with our guy hiding right behind it. But, up the stakes, his buddy is also hiding inside said fridge. Small guy, I guess. But, safe as our home invaders may feel, we've got an AK-50. Half of one. Forgot how front heavy this V1 was. Jesus. One of the reasons I need to get back in the gym. If we're gonna have a new prototype, I need to be able to hold and shoulder it. All right, AK-50, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's gruesome. Alrighty, so we have our clear entrance hole here where the bullet will go in. We actually have some spray on the outside around the entrance hole. That's interesting. And here, of course, we've had a fatality. I think that's the one that's on the ground there. Just kind of fell out through the front. And then on the back side, we've got a pretty sharp exit wound. You can see it's starting to expand or tumble a little bit. The big thing here is that there was space in between the side of the fridge, the 2-liter, and then more space to allow it to kind of start losing its straightness. What's the ballisticians help me out here? But the point being, now that it is actually expanding or tilting or whatever, it's dumping a lot more energy into it instead of just going straight in, straight out. And that leads us to our guy behind the fridge who, I swear I don't know what happened to it. We have little bits and pieces here of a wrapper, but yeah, little pieces of the 2-liter, but I really don't know what happened to it. We might actually have to check the slow-mo to even figure out where to go pick that shit up. So we checked the slow-mo. That thing flew all the way over here, just completely ripped open. That's like 15 yards, 10 yards, something like that. Shit went airborne for a good minute. All right, so now that we're sufficiently sticky, you've earned yourself an AK-50 update. Whoosh. Whoosh. So here's where we're at with the AK-50. I know in the last couple times I talked to you guys about it, we had mentioned that the new prototypes we're going to be working on are based on a stamped receiver. Now, we were trying to figure out ways to prototype this. We had a couple things in mind, and we have a couple of things we really want to try. But right now, for the intro prototype, we're doing things on the cheap, which is actually really funny how I actually think we're going to get away with this. I give you the AK-50 receiver, the stamped prototype. This is actually just a piece of tube steel that we have cut away, and it's got some thick boy steel here that I think is actually going to work fairly well. We've designed our parts, our prototype parts, to actually fit to this and actually be cut to this. So here's the front trunnion I showed off before. Got them thick boy rivets on it. Actually, on the new one, we're getting another one of these made, just because this one was not really, like, there's a couple of things that were just kind of off that we'd like to be able to do, like a little bit more meat here to thread and different things like that. Just a couple little minor stuff. It really wasn't too much with the people that we're using to get this machined, to get a different version machined, so we're just gonna go ahead and go with that. This one we actually machined to fit. And gonna have to cut back that rail just a little bit, but it'll fit, and then this will be just drilled through and then riveted, which we're gonna need to build a crazy rivet jig for this, because them's some big rivets. I think we're using slightly bigger than PKM rivets, which is, of course, PKM, the 7.62x54 light machine gun. And all of our rivets are gonna be dimpled. So the sheet metal is actually going to be pressed into the recesses to make it a nice big strong rivet. I think on the new trunnion we actually added another long rivet to the bottom as well. You also remember our recoil buffer system. The rear trunnion assembly here, which you can see, nice big recesses there in the rear trunnion for the dimpling or on the rivets, and our recoil dampening system for after the bolt carrier bottoms out, and let's say you're running hot ammo, suppressors, whatever, and it has a little bit too much oomph. This is here to kind of dampen that and not put all of that impulse A directly onto your rear trunnion, but B into the shooter as well, at least not sharply. So this also rides right into the back here, and you can see how that rides in the rail just perfectly. And I'm really happy with the way that that turned out. This right here is something like what we're gonna end up with a bolt carrier. Like I said, couple oversights, couple things I didn't really like in how this turned out. So we're having some new parts quoted, new parts made, getting a new bolt made, new carrier made, new front trunnion made. Not sure when all that stuff is gonna come in. I'm hoping in just a couple of weeks, but we'll see how it all turns out. Nice big beefy piece of steel here on the bolt carrier. Of course, we've got the dual recoil spring assembly here. Also screwing around with another version, it's 3D printed of course. It's a piston extension here with one recoil spring just to see if we can get away with it. I don't know what we're actually gonna do with that one, but figured while we're prototyping, now's the time to play around with stuff like that. The finished version is gonna be, you know, steel, not 3D printed, because I like my face. So basically the reason why we don't do updates very often is what work we do is mostly in the computer. It's not very impressive and it's not really interesting to look at or talk about. So now we might actually have some meaningful stuff coming to fruition soon. We got parts out being machined, so who knows? Next couple months might actually have a legitimate AK-50 update for you guys with some real progress. So I'm excited. I think the build portion of this is gonna be really fun. Don't know how much of that I can put on YouTube, but I don't know, it'll be, it's just gonna be a lot of fun, so we'll see what happens with that. Anyhow, that's all I've got for you guys today. I greatly appreciate it. If you wanna help support the channel, you can check out the merch down below. The links to Bunker Branding are there in the description and in the pinned comment. And remember, subscribe, hit that notification bell. The powers that be really don't like pushing our videos to you guys, so that's one of the ways you can guarantee you get at least a better chance that you'll actually see our content when we upload. I appreciate you guys staying to the end of the video, and I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks. So I've noticed a lot of you guys have been leaning, Freudian slip, leaning. So I noticed a lot of you guys have been leaning. I did it twice, seriously?